Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to talk about certified pre-owned cars here at Kentville Toyota. Let's have a look at our first used car. So we are currently standing in front of a 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE gas. So this is a used gas RAV4. This one is about to roll up 100,000 kilometers. So we do a great job of selling a lot of used Toyotas here at Kentville Toyota. We don't just sell Toyotas, we sell a little bit of everything. We take anything on trade and we buy them where we can find them because the market is still tight on used cars. The biggest thing about buying from a Toyota dealership in general, and I'm not trying to advertise other Toyota dealerships because they're terrible and we're really good, is the fact that we use Toyota Certified Pre-Owned program for our used vehicles. We don't only use it for our Toyotas, we also hold our other manufacturers, any other manufacturer, we hold to the same standard that Toyota asks us to hold our used Toyotas to. A really broad brushstroke is with these vehicles, you are buying a used car. It is going to have some wear and tear. If you look closely at this vehicle, even though one of our very skilled detailers has gone over it thoroughly, there's rock chips on this hood. There are some scratches on this car. This is a used car, and warts and all, when you buy them, they're previously loved. For instance, this one has a dent right here, and some dents can be taken out by some highly skilled tradespeople out there. We use paintless dent repair all the time, but in certain spots, they're virtually impossible to take out, and used cars have wear and tear. So when we do a Toyota Certified Pre-Owned, we basically bring all the service on this vehicle back to Toyota standards as if it was bought here at this dealership and the previous owner had done all the maintenance according to Toyota's maintenance schedule. So if it has legitimately been done by the previous owner, great, we just top it up, bring it up to date, and make sure that you take ownership of the vehicle and you just follow with your regular maintenance schedule. But if the vehicle has an unknown origin, or we don't know its service history because it was not serviced at a Toyota store, or there are no fingerprints for service, we go through, we do all kinds of neat things. We change brake fluid. We change coolant, service all the brakes. We also do measurements on the brakes to make sure that they meet Toyota standards. So Toyota standards on things very specifically like brakes. The original brake pads on the vehicle's pads and rotors, we're allowed to recondition them, service them to make sure they're working properly. And as long as they are 40% of the original measurement. So on a Toyota brake pad for especially front brakes on a RAV4, standard measurement for a brake pad is approximately 10 millimeters is the new thickness of that brake pad. So if we look at brakes specifically, on a 10 millimeter brake pad, Toyota Certified Pre-Owned standard is 4 millimeters. So it's not just 4 millimeters. We need to verify that the brakes are working properly. We take them apart, we clean them, we service them, make sure they're moving smoothly and are fully functional. And if the brake pads that are on the vehicle are worn unevenly because the previous owner didn't service them, they get thrown away. And we just do not put brake pads on old rotors. We're going to go back in our back shop in a little bit, and we'll do a little video of what brake service looks like and what our expectations are for brake standards for a vehicle. It's a very important safety feature. Getting going is fun, stopping is important. So we're really big on making sure that our brake systems work properly. So we make sure that everything is functioning the way it is intended to move. So that's for your safety and for your benefit, is that the cost of putting in brakes, if you do a complete brake job on this vehicle, you're going to be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400. We don't just do brake pads, we do pads and rotors, because if you take a new pad that's nice and smooth and put it on an old rotor that's rough, you literally are just going to chew into the new brake pad. You're going to ruin the life. You're not going to have good braking capacity until they meld together. So you can actually tear 20% of the braking capacity out of a new set of brake pads by putting them on an old rotor. So we don't do that here. So when you buy a vehicle that has had a brake job as a certified pre-owned Toyota, the brake job includes pads and rotors. And traditionally, we use Toyota parts because we find for a little bit of a premium over an aftermarket part, we get easily 30% better wear out of those brakes. When you're paying a premium for a used car, you deserve that as well. Just obvious wear and tear. This car actually is in better condition than a lot of the used ones we see, and white is very forgiving for not showing a lot of sins for wear and tear. I do see rock chips here. This is very common on side of doors. Previous owner bumped it into something in their driveway, parking lot, probably your car at the grocery store based on the other colors that we've seen here. And if you do not retract your seatbelt and you slam the door with the seatbelt out here, it'll do the same thing. It'll actually bend your door. So you have to expect that this is not a new car. It will have some wear and tear, but the price reflects that. Tires is the second big thing that we do with our used vehicles, is that we don't just use Toyota's standard is not just a simple measurement. Again, it's the 50% mindset on tires as opposed to 40% on brakes. Is that on this particular vehicle, we have put a set of new tires on this car. So Kentville Toyota does not use aftermarket offshore tires. We use brands that you recognize, brands that you're going to buy at any of the big box stores. We're using a good quality tire so that you should be able to get 50 to 70,000 kilometers with good tire rotation out of the tires that come on one of our vehicles, because we're not putting an offshore $50 tire on a vehicle like this. It will ride rough, it'll be noisy, it will not wear well, you will not be happy with your used car. So those are some of the standards we use, and just because it mostly gives us half the tread wear of when it was new at 50%, if we're showing feathering on the edges and the car needs an alignment, we do an alignment. If you're seeing unusual wear on the inside, again, we'll check the alignment, and just because the tire is mostly good and it's got feathering on the edges, we replace them, because it's important that we're selling you good value. We're a small local company, and we expect that if we treat you well, you'll treat us well, and we'd like repeat business and referral business. The overall condition of the car is, again, used RAV4. As I open the door here, you will often see some wear and tear. Is that there are scuffs on the inside of this door sill. There should be. Someone has been getting in and out of this vehicle now for several years, and you do get some wear. To save money by buying a used car, you give up something. Is it a little less warranty? This vehicle is about to roll out of manufacturer's warranty at 100,000 kilometers. So as of today, if you buy this, it still has engine, transmission, transaxle, wheel bearings, hard mechanical warranty until you hit 100,000 kilometers. Because it is a Toyota certified pre-owned, we can also offer a Toyota new car warranty on this vehicle. You can still put a comprehensive warranty on this car for up to 3 years or 60,000 kilometers from the purchase date. So you can take a almost 4-year-old car with 100K or almost 100K, and we can still sell you an extended warranty on this vehicle that gives you essentially new car coverage on a used car. So you can have the same benefit that a new car buyer does for a significantly lower price point to stay within your budget. And because our Toyotas will last as long as they will, buying one with 100,000 kilometers is not a big deal. I'm currently driving an 8-year-old RAV4 hybrid, first generation hybrid. I'm the second owner, and I've rolled up over 250,000 kilometers. And guess what? I've had excellent service from the car. And again, price point was way different than a new one. I'm not a high kilometer driver. We have one good car in the driveway, and I get to drive my old RAV, which I love. So it's just a different perspective. When you're buying from a certified pre-owned dealer like Kentville Toyota with Toyota certification, there are some major differences. I have worked in the used car business and the car business in general. I'm coming up on my 18th year, and I have worked for 3 Japanese manufacturers, and I've worked for one big box, huge volume used car store in Metro Halifax, Dartmouth. So won't name them. They were a great employer to work with. I learned a ton there. But because I've always worked in new car stores, and we've always sold fully reconditioned vehicles that we could stand behind in a small community, when you go to one of the larger vendors that has huge volumes of used cars and they advertise lower prices, guaranteed you can buy a car. You can buy this RAV4 and a similar RAV4 at another store for less money than you can ours. But we try and sell on value, not on price. We'll always be competitive on price, but we're exceedingly good value versus prices. This is a fully reconditioned vehicle, and on the average 5-year-old RAV4 with 100K, we spend on average $2,600 on these vehicles, fully reconditioning them. We're seeing our competitors selling a similar vehicle into the market for $1,500, $1,800 less, but it's a motor vehicle inspection only standard, which means they have to hit the brake measurements at 1 millimeter on the front. Brakes don't need to be working, but the pads need to be 1 millimeter. Your lights don't need to be working, doesn't need to be serviced, doesn't need to have an oil change, may have never had a fluid change ever. So the difference in price and value is that we sell on value, but we're competitive on price, but we'll almost never be the cheapest price in the market. And do you want to pay $1 for something that needs 50 cents worth of work, or do you want to pay $1.25 for something that needs nothing? So for a consumer, you have to make an informed decision, is when you're shopping against a certified pre-owned, whether it be a Toyota or a non-Toyota on a lot, all the same standards apply. Ask whoever you're shopping with, what have you done to this car? Can I see the work orders? What are my expectations? When should I need to do a brake job? How are the tires holding out? When were the last fluids changed? If they can't give you answers, or they give you vague answers, dig a little deeper. Make sure you're getting good bang for your buck, and make sure they'll stand behind the product they're selling. So again, used cars are different than new. Obviously, features are the same. We make sure everything's working as if it was a new car. We check the functionality of everything, and if it's broken and we sell it to you and it's human error, we'll stand behind it. So it's really about that relationship of buying a used car from a local dealer, that we will stand behind the vehicle we've sold you, so that you make sure you're getting good value for your money. We're going to do a few more videos on ownership, maintenance, a few things about our service department to go along with our used car program, and we'll talk a little bit more in the future about the certified pre-owned. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your time. Please leave comments, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you'd like. Again, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Thanks very much for your time.